everyone! Firstly, we'd like to thank the team Wizards.exe for inviting us to join the International Day event. And for our non-technic workshop, we are Team SEO from Romania. We decided to ally with two other teams from our country, Esentza Robotics and Modus Vivendi. The topic for this workshop will be organizing events, including FTC teams, especially. And right now, the event created by Modus Vivendi has ended. And in the next minutes, we'll show you a few tips and tricks of how to organize these events, because we all went through the same problems, the same issues, but also very different.
We from Esentza Robotics, from Beclean, have tried and I can say we managed to create the Esentza Robotics Summer Camp. Here in Romania, the season ends mid-spring, and we thought, why not shift such an event as a summer camp outside the season and try to invite as many teams as possible to have a good time in our town, and also learn something different in a very fun way, with a big smile on their face, and yeah, we think we made it.
We wanted to help teams bond while also having fun and learning new stuff helpful for their next season.
Hi, we are Modus Vivendi. We have just arrived to our headquarters from the event we have organized, Ora de a Cunoaște. And we are very tired from this event, because such an event takes a long time to organize and to prepare for. And in this video we want to tell you the things we have gone through and how hard it is to organize such an event.
So, starting with the start about our event. It all started when we participated in SEO Talks and in Robo Summer Camp, and we thought we need to make an event like this, but we were struggling to decide between doing something for the local community and something for the national community, for the FTC teams. So we merged these ideas into one, and we created an event within 2 days. The first being a conference, and the second being an opportunity for the local community to see what STEM really means, and to offer volunteering experiences and also doing something for a charity, pretty much.
We also organized an event called SEO Talks, which was about 2 days. And we had speakers talking about STEM education and FTC fields, to try to acknowledge the others, to know what is FTC about, and how to spread FTC spirit.
So we have the same kind of different events. We have 2 days we organized with conferences, we have a summer camp, and we have a conference and a demo game organized by Modus Vivendi. And we really hope you'll find these tips really helpful, and we'd like to see you organize more events in FTC, because it's a really nice opportunity to gather together and work something really nice out.
And in the following, we would like to show you not only what to do in order to create a beautiful event, but also learn from our mistakes, which were plenty and hopefully not too bad. So, what can I say? Be imaginative and keep the motivation high.
Hi first! We're from Team SEO. I'm Alexandra from 3D Modeling.
And I'm Maria, I'm the lead PR, and we want to thank you to Wizards.exe for connecting us to MishMash, and we also want to congratulate them for this initiative. In this video, we're going to show you our personal experience organizing an event.
And discuss about every step that you have to follow in organizing one.
So, our event implied 2 days of conferences, that were meant to be a head start for the FTC community at the beginning of the season, and we also wanted it to be really educational, so we both had technical and non-technical conferences.
And we also wanted to bring the FTC teams together.
First things first, we want to share with you the strategy we approached to make our event. And for that, we started by looking for a good date to organize our event. We looked for a free weekend that didn't interfere with other FTC teams' events, and also one that could be far enough so we could have enough time to organize it.
Another important thing is how many people would you like to come to your event? So we wanted to bring as many FTC teams as possible, but we always kept in mind a number of people that would really come to our event. It's hard to find accommodations for that many people, and you want the accommodations to be close to the conferences room where you host the event.
So now that you cleared these things out, you can start going for the most important step, is money. You need to see if you have enough money to pay the accommodation, to pay the eventual transport, the place you're gonna hold the event if needed, and also other promotional advertisements materials.
Anything could be useful to your event, from the bakery that you give in coffee breaks to the promotional materials like badges and portfolios. You're always looking for the local businesses that could help you. That's what we did. We went from store to store asking for money, and that's not a very good
sponsorship looking strategy.
yes.
But we worked something out. We obtained some products from some bakery, and it really helped us in the first place. Next, you should look for a place to hold your event. You can talk to your school or university if you have one in your town, or even restaurants or stuff like that, but that usually costs money. So for our event, we went looking for the rooms our university had, because we knew they could fit a lot of people inside, and we were really lucky to have met such nice people that really helped us with no charge.
If you want to host an event with conferences like us, you should look for the most influential people in your community that had an impact on teenagers' lives.
So now that you cleared all of those stuff out, you can announce your event, and you should really do that with some time in advance so the teams can think about coming to your event and also get some time to sign up. And while doing that, you should really think about a deadline, because this way you can know as earlier as possible how many people you will have, and the teams
How you should prepare.
Yeah, the teams will usually hurry up if you have a deadline. And now we're gonna talk about branding the event, and we will let our team's illustrator.
Hi, first, I'm Leti. I'm the guy behind the camera and the illustrator of Team XEO. I think that a very important part of your event is to create a brand of its own, to make a simple logo and a name that resonates through people. They need to remind your event from only one scroll through Facebook. If they see an image, they should remind it always. Your graphics should also represent you and basically give a sign of what the event contains and how things are gonna work.
Now there come the details. You want your event to be as fun, as educational, include a lot of fun activities, icebreakers. We even hosted a party, so you really want to keep the mood really light,
so that everyone feels happy, everyone feels great, and have a great time to your event.
And also make a lot of friends and connections with people. Now that you've drawn the lines of your event, we are going to focus on two important topics today. which are finding the right people as speakers for an event and the schedule.
The speakers. We wanted to find people in our community from all areas of interest that are influencers and can represent, and we thought they represent the first values. Our first speaker is a local professor at our university. He also takes part in an NGO helping teenagers fund themselves. So he held a conference about teamwork and talked about some situations which were very relatable to some of the teams. Today continue with some conferences, technical and non-technical, and ended with a lady talking about branding us as a team. She founded an NGO, Selfie School, that is all about teaching teenagers how to brand themselves. One important thing is to tag the topics with your speakers. So always tag your ideas or your team ideas with the speaker's ideas. You always want to find a midway to do a great conference. Always keep in mind to acknowledge your speakers that they are talking to some high school students that make robots.
Yeah, for example, we had a speaker that we proposed to him to talk about the daily life of a programmer nowadays, and he also proposed to talk about functional programming, which for the kind of conference we wanted him to have was a technical one. It was okay, but it turned out to be a bit too technical for our conferences, and people were kinda bored about it, but it turned out okay. So you should really keep in mind to communicate with your speaker. Usually at this kind of conferences, people want to develop their non-technical side, but if you want to go for the technical ones, that's totally alright. But talk with the speaker to package it all around to give a really entertaining session of technical, whatever you want.
As there will be many speakers, always keep in mind, don't get your schedule overwhelming so the people don't get bored.
And that will be exactly the next topic we're going to talk about, the schedule. In order to make a really good schedule, there are a lot of things to keep in mind. And one of them would be keeping the schedule as diverse as possible. Keep non-technical and technical conferences alternate, so you don't have heavy information on the technical side or way too much on the other. So because of that, you should keep in mind that sitting for a long time in a room listening to a conference will get boring no matter how good that conference is. So keep a lot of breaks between them, and if you do that, always make sure you take some time in advance, because usually when you plan a 5 or 10 minute break, it will usually get double of the time to get all the people back together again. One example that unfortunately happened at our event was that during some of the conferences a team left because felt really overwhelmed and tired from all the traveling and went out for eating, and that we couldn't really control because we had way too short breaks between them. So that's what probably will happen if you do that as well, so don't. So after you created your schedule and probably published it or something, stick to it. Don't add activities or don't take out activities because you want to, only if something really happens. And in that time, you should really have a backup plan to fill it with something fun, interactive between the teams, and everything should be alright. Because we had last minute changes that they were really hard to manage. Also, if one of your speakers is taking too long with their conference, politely ask them to conclude and tell your audience that you could ask further questions after the conference is done, so you can keep on moving. and you should tell that to your speaker with some minutes before, and if that keeps happening, you have to try to end it, because it will mess up all your schedule you made so far. At the end of the event, it's a really good tip to include feedback forms in which participants can say what they liked, what they didn't, what they would like to see more.
That really helped us to get to know our weaknesses, what went wrong, what we can do better in the future. So, to sum things up, always put your event on the paper.
Keep your schedule as clean as possible.
Talk to as many people as possible that could help you.
Try to keep in mind what you would like to see at such an event.
Find speakers with same interests as you.
Include sufficient breaks between your conferences.
And
enjoy the ride!
So, why should you organize an event?
Why should you, Alexandra?
Well, it's fun!
Yes, it's really fun. Even though it may seem really stressful and a lot of
Overwhelming.
work, yeah, you should really give it a try, because it gives you a really nice satisfaction for you as an individual and mostly for your whole. We'll see you soon, we hope, at the World's Championship. And yeah, bye!
Bye.
Bye bye.